Okay, so get ready, because today we are diving deep into a psychological thriller. And let me tell you, it's one that will definitely keep you on the edge of your seat.
Ooh, I love
Right.
those.
This one is called The Housemaid by Freida McFadden.
Okay.
And we've got a great plot summary and review from the Bibliophile blog. And this book is just full of secrets, twists, surprises, you name it.
So good.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. And it's like,
Oh, and Freida McFadden, she just knows how to construct these worlds, Like, it
Yeah.
seems so perfect at first and then just, like, slowly reveals
Yes.
all the darkness beneath.
yeah, exactly.
Such a master at building suspense.
Exactly. So right away, we get introduced to Millie.
Okay.
She's this young woman, and she's got kind of a mysterious past. And she ends up getting this job as a live-in housekeeper
Okay.
for this couple, Nina and Andrew Winchester.
Okay.
And they're this wealthy couple, and they're seemingly living the dream life. But you know what they say, like...
Right. If it seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's always a catch, right?
Yes, and McFadden is so good at planting those little seeds of doubt from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Remember that locked attic room?
Oh, yes.
Like a giant flashing neon sign,
Yeah.
screaming, "Secrets!"
Secrets, exactly.
And then you've got Nina, and she's got this forgetfulness. She's got these, like, kind of erratic behaviors, and there's all these whispers about, like, a troubled past.
Oh, yeah.
And then, not to mention, like, that overflowing medicine cabinet. Like,
yeah.
come on, McFadden knows how to make us curious.
Right away, so let's unpack this initial setup a little bit more.
Okay.
So the bibliophile gives us some insight into Millie's background.
Okay.
And she's been in jail for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And she went to jail when she was 17.
Oh, my gosh.
But she keeps that little tidbit hidden from the Winchesters, of course.
Of course she does.
It makes you wonder, though, like,
Right.
what exactly did she do, and how is this secret going to play into the story?
Oh, that's such a great question, and it really plays into this whole theme.
Of hidden identities,
Yeah.
Like characters that are presenting this carefully constructed facade to the world.
Yeah.
McFadden makes us question everyone's motives right away.
Right.
Like, no one is exactly who they appear to be.
No. And then you've got Nina. Oh, boy.
Nina.
She's a complex character, to say the least.
Yeah.
So there's all these rumors about her trying to drown her own daughter, Cecilia,
Oh, my gosh.
and then she attempts suicide.
Oh.
Like, that is some chilling stuff.
Yeah, that's intense.
Right. So it really makes you question her mental state.
Right.
But is there something more to it?
Yeah.
Is she really unstable, or is there something else going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
McFadden plays with our perceptions, like
Yeah.
blurring those lines between what is reality and
Yeah.
what is perception.
Yes.
Like, is Nina a victim of circumstance, or is she deliberately manipulating those around her?
Yes, exactly. And it keeps us guessing
Oh, yeah.
the whole time.
Totally.
And then we've got Andrew, and he is seemingly the perfect husband.
Okay.
He's charming, successful, incredibly understanding,
Okay.
especially compared to, like, Nina's erratic behavior.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So at first glance, he almost seems too good to be true.
Right. But remember all those red flags that McFadden keeps dropping?
Yes.
We've got the locked room,
Yeah.
the whispers about Nina's past the medications. Like,
Yeah.
they're all warning signs,
Yes.
like reminding us
Yeah.
that things are not always what they seem.
Right.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Yes.
And Andrew might not be the knight in shining armor. He
exactly.
appears to be.
You know what really hooked me, honestly?
What's that?
It was that locked attic room.
Yeah,
It's such a classic thriller trope,
it is.
but there's a reason it works so well.
It works.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it just
yeah.
instantly creates this sense of mystery.
Oh, totally.
And it foreshadows that danger that might be lurking
Yeah.
within those walls.
For sure. And the locked room. Yeah.
It's more than just a spooky setting, you know?
Right.
It actually becomes a symbol of Nina's confinement,
Yes.
both physically and psychologically.
Wow.
It's a reminder of the secrets
Yeah.
and the potential danger that Millie is stepping into.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this incredibly intriguing setup, right? A housekeeper with a secret past, a seemingly perfect couple with some cracks in their facade, and a locked room that's just brimming with untoward stories like, where does McFadden take us from here?
Right.
That is a great question.
Yeah.
And things get really interesting from here, so stay tuned.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the things that I think is so brilliant about The Housemaid
Yeah.
is how McFadden shifts the narrative
Oh, yeah.
in part 2.
Yes.
Like, we move from Millie's perspective to Nina's.
Yes.
And it's like someone just flipped on a light switch.
Totally.
And it illuminates everything.
Yes, and it's like we were watching this play, and then suddenly the curtain gets pulled back.
And you see all the backstage drama,
Yes.
all the machinations, and Nina's story is a real shocker.
Oh, it is.
Like, it completely reframes everything we thought we knew about her.
Right.
So we learned that Nina wasn't always this seemingly unstable woman that we first meet,
Right.
She was once a vibrant and intelligent English PhD student
Wow.
with this bright future ahead of her, and then she meets Andrew,
Oh.
and her life takes a very dark turn.
Oh, no.
So their romance, it was like a whirlwind,
Yeah.
and it quickly spirals into this nightmare.
Yeah.
So the bibliophile details all the systematic abuse that Nina endures at Andrew's hands.
Oh, gosh.
And it all starts with that locked attic room.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't just this creepy space.
Right.
It was her prison.
Wow.
It was like a tangible representation of her captivity.
That's a really good point.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is where I think McFadden's exploration of psychological manipulation is so powerful.
It is.
Because Andrew uses the attic as this tool to control Nina, to punish her for any perceived infraction.
Oh, gosh.
So he isolates her, he gaslights her, and he slowly erodes her sense of self-worth.
Yeah, he's like a sculptor,
Yeah.
chipping away at her confidence and her sanity until
Yeah.
she's just like a shell.
It's truly horrifying to read about.
It is.
The way that he systematically breaks her down.
Right.
And it gets even worse
Oh, no.
when we realize that he uses her daughter Cecilia as leverage
Oh, my God.
to keep Nina in line.
That is just awful.
Like, that's a new level of cruelty.
a new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sadly a tactic that's all too common in abusive relationships.
Unfortunately, yes.
Right. Like, the abuser exploits the victim's love for their child, and they twist it into this weapon of control.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
And it traps the victim in this cycle of fear and obedience.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, how could anyone endure this kind of torment?
Right.
But Nina, desperate to protect Cecilia, she does. She endures years of this abuse.
Oh, my gosh.
But she's not just a passive victim. She is a survivor.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
And deep down, she is plotting her escape, waiting for the right moment to strike back.
Good for her.
And that's where Millie enters the picture.
Okay.
So Nina carefully selects Millie as her replacement, knowing that Andrew is going to be drawn to her.
Oh.
Right.
Interesting.
But it's a risky gamble.
Yeah.
And it raises a lot of moral questions.
Totally. And the bibliophile even points out this ethical dilemma
Yes.
of Nina's actions.
Yeah.
Like, is she justified in putting another woman in harm's way, even if it means securing her own freedom?
Right. Like, that is a tough question.
It's a really tough question to answer.
So there's this moral ambiguity
Yeah,
to her choices.
for sure.
She's a victim desperately trying to protect her daughter, but her actions have consequences,
Absolutely.
for others. And it really forces us to confront this complexity of her character and the difficult choices that people make when they're pushed to their limits.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Nina puts her plan in motion,
Okay.
and she subtly encourages this connection between Millie and Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
She orchestrates all these situations where they're bound to be alone together, hoping to pique Andrew's interest.
Okay.
And you know what?
What?
Andrew takes the bait.
Oh.
Like, he falls right into her carefully laid trap.
Oh, my gosh.
He kicks Nina out, believing that he is the one calling the shots.
Oh, he thinks he's so clever.
He's got it all figured out.
Yeah.
But little does he know, the power dynamic is about to shift
Ooh.
dramatically.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
And that brings us to part 3, where the real showdown begins.
Oh, buckle up.
Buckle up.
Oh.
Okay, so part 3, this is where the housemaid really takes off.
Yeah.
It's like we've had the calm before the storm, and then bam, everything explodes.
Okay.
So Andrew, he thinks he's free of Nina now, right?
Yeah.
He sets his sights on Millie, and it's chilling how quickly he falls back into those old patterns.
Oh, gosh.
In repeating that cycle of abuse.
Yeah, it's like watching this horrifying echo of
Yeah.
what Nina endured.
Yes.
Like he's trying to exert that same control over Millie, locking her in that same attic room,
Yeah.
subjecting her to his manipulative games.
Right. But Millie is a survivor.
Yeah, she is.
Like, she is made of tougher stuff than Andrew realizes.
Right.
And thankfully, Nina, she had the foresight to leave Millie a little something
Oh,
to help even the odds.
okay.
So the bibliophile mentions that Nina stashed some pepper spray in the attic.
Ooh, smart.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like she left this lifeline for
Yeah.
whoever came after her.
That's such a small act, but it's such a huge, like,
Okay.
statement about Nina. You know,
Okay.
like, even in her own desperation,
Yeah.
she's thinking about protecting the next woman
Yes.
that might fall into Andrew's clutches.
Exactly. And boy, does Millie put that pepper spray to good use.
Oh, yeah.
Like she turns the tables on Andrew. She overpowers him, and then she locks him in the attic.
Wow.
The very same attic that he used to imprison her and Nina.
That's so satisfying.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's this moment of pure satisfaction,
Totally.
watching the abuser become the prisoner.
Absolutely. And it's so symbolic
Yeah.
of Millie reclaiming her agency, you know,
Yes,
and fighting back against her tormentor.
exactly. And I think it also highlights this like shared strength
Yes.
of both of these women, how they found this resilience
Yeah.
to resist even in the face of this unimaginable trauma.
Absolutely.
But hold on, okay, because just when you think you've got it all figured out, McFadden throws another curveball.
Of course she does.
So it turns out that Nina knew a lot more about Millie than she let on.
What?
Remember that secret past
Yeah.
that Millie was trying so hard to hide?
Right.
Well, Nina knew all about it.
Oh, wow.
So this revelation, it just adds this whole other layer of complexity to the story. And suddenly, Nina's motivations,
Yeah.
they become much more intricate.
Okay.
It wasn't just about escaping Andrew. It was about revenge.
Oh, wow.
So she chose Millie, specifically hoping that her past might make her a weapon against Andrew.
Wow. That's dark.
I know, it's so dark.
Yeah.
So Nina, she was playing this much longer game,
Yeah.
orchestrating this plan for both escape and retribution.
Oh, my gosh.
So when Andrew ends up dead,
Okay.
Nina steps up. She's ready to take the fall.
Really?
Like, she's willing to sacrifice her own freedom
Wow.
to ensure that Andrew can't hurt anyone else.
That's huge.
Right. And it really just speaks to how deeply Andrew scarred her
Yeah.
and how determined she was to protect others
Yeah.
from suffering the same fate.
Right.
But then in this twist of fate, the detective who's investigating Andrew's death, he has this personal connection
Okay.
to the case.
Oh, wow.
So his daughter was actually Andrew's ex-fiancée.
Oh, my gosh.
And she had her own horrifying experience
Oh, wow.
of Andrew's abuse.
That's intense.
Right. So this unexpected connection, it changes everything.
Yeah.
The detective, he sees the truth. He recognizes the patterns of abuse, and he concludes that Andrew's death was an accident,
Okay.
like a result of Millie defending herself.
No, wow.
So this resolution, it's both satisfying and unsettling.
I can see that. Yeah.
Justice is served in a way.
Right.
But it's this messy kind of justice,
Yeah.
tinged with sadness
Yeah.
and the weight of Andrew's lasting impact,
Of course.
on everyone involved.
Totally.
And just when you think the story is over, McFadden hits us with this one final chilling scene.
Ooh. Okay.
In the epilogue, we see Millie, and she's taking on this new cleaning job.
Okay.
But this time it feels different.
How so?
There's this sense of purpose
Okay.
behind her actions.
Interesting.
So the woman who hires Millie, she has this bruise,
Okay.
and she mentions that Nina recommended Millie as someone who could help her.
Oh.
And it's heavily implied that Millie is being hired to eliminate another abusive husband.
Oh, my gosh. So the cycle of violence continues.
It does.
But this time, Millie is in control.
Exactly. So The Housemaid is more than just a thriller.
Right.
It's this thought-provoking exploration of trauma resilience and these moral gray areas that we navigate when we face those really difficult choices.
Absolutely. And McFadden does such an amazing job
She does.
of keeping us guessing until the very last page.
She does. So if you're looking for a book that will keep you on the edge of your seat, The Housemaid is the one.
Yeah, it'll keep you up at night.
It will definitely keep you up at night.